All right, I'm Michael Matthews. We are in session 2 of the Gauntlet games Usagi Yojimbo. This is the second edition of it. It's a PBTA like game. Um, we are using the standard Gauntlet inclusivity as well as safety tools. Anyone at any time can either put an X in the window, or since we are using Roll20, if you put an X in there, it gives you the blip, and so I find those don't get missed as much as like I don't always notice chat things for a little bit all the time, so that can go there. We also have already talked over lines and veils and have those set up for the game itself. Um, if we want to go, um, yeah, if we just want to, we could start with Steven, go to Marley, and then Fraser, and then Puckett.
Hi, I'm Marley, she, her, and I will be playing Ryo the Fang, a snake veteran, with their companion Nozumi.
Fraser?
I'm Rin he, him pronouns. I'm a bear bounty hunter. And that says a lot about me, I think. I have white fur, blue eyes. I've got a man bun, but in this context, it would be a bear bun. And stout posture. I think that's it.
Like one of the Coca-Cola bears was coming for you. And then we'll go Puckett, and then we can go with Steven. We can introduce your character.
Hi there, I'm Puckett, he, and pronouns. Tonight I'll be playing Koda Shibata, a turtle priest who wanders around as a mendicant with his staff, begging for alms, sake, occasionally a bowl of rice, and doing weird blessing things, performing marriages, fun things.
Occasionally it's demons.
On occasion.
I'm Steven, he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Kona Goldtooth, who is a boar, a gambler playbook. He's slender, very handsome, pomaded bristles, gold cap tusks. Definite ladies' man. His quirk is that he is smooth, and his motivation is to enjoy the good things in life, then get out of town before trouble catches up to him.
Okay, yeah, so if you want to make a note, you roll one extra die and then a -3 to your negotiation rolls. So you roll 3d6, add those up, and then subtract 3. Instead of the regular 2.
Yeah, so the odds of my getting both a very good roll and a very bad roll are much higher.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing, we have, are you able to see in the bottom left-hand corner a little roll macro?
Yep.
I see it.
Yeah, I know we got it for everybody else. So, Steven, are you able to see it?
I'm not.
Okay. If not, if you want to go...
I'm not sure where to...
So if you go up... So if it's not in the lower left, underneath the list of names...
On the Roll20.
I think everyone has to put it in the bar themselves. I don't know if I'm able to make sure everyone sees it.
Right.
Yeah, so if you want to go over on the tab with the journal, the one with the 3 dots, which is the little bullet list, which is a collection. One of those macros is the name macro.
Yeah.
Or rather, the name of macros, then the roll is one of the ones there.
Yes.
If you click show in bar, it'll just make it easy to roll 2d6, and it'll ask you for a modifier.
Okay.
The wild Ghostbusters appear. Yeah, this particular one I use for just a number of one-shots of stuff that I've run.
Okay, got it.
So the question here might be, who might, and like one of the next villages you go to after the Demon Haunted Village, who might already know Kona? Is that pronounced correctly?
Yeah. I mean, I just looked up the Japanese word for lucky, and I made it the name of my character. So that is pronounced as well as I am pronouncing it.
So who might you know of this particular group?
Oh, let's see. I think I've run into the bounty hunter before. They've never been after me, but I do try to be aware of people who might at some point come after me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a possibility. So yeah, it might be not a bad thing if the rest of you, if you kind of pop into, are you looking to stay at the inn or kind of get off your feet, not stay in a roadside shrine for a day or two?
Sure, I'd be down with that.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, what did we do after we finished up with the with dispelling the demons at the village?
I'm assuming you probably just continued on because there's a place where there's supposed to be a good bounty coming up at a village where you're at. It's getting towards evening. It's about another day's walk.
Sounds good.
All right. So when you come into the inn, the innkeeper is kind of going around and dropping off some food. He goes, yes, a table?
Blessings, blessings. Blessings upon all of you.
Do priests eat for free here? Sometimes that happens.
No. We're a small village, and lately we've not gotten a lot of visitors because, well, very few people come from the south through the woods themselves are said to be haunted. But to the north, there's been some troubles. As a matter of fact, one of the only strangers we've had here in a little bit, and it kind of turns. And what might have brought you here, Kuna?
Well, I mean, I generally try to get out of town before trouble catches up to me, and I generally succeed, but sometimes it's only by a few feet. So I think I was involved with some ladies who were their husbands were perhaps a little disapproving.
Okay. Well, as you sort of fled from there and you went through, there's a small village that is north of here. That as you sort of went in, it looked like it had been under attack recently, and people were very suspicious. As you made your way through, did not appear to be a particularly welcoming place. And then when you got here recently, you were just told that the path to the south, basically everyone you've talked to there has told you that the way to the south is haunted, and very few actually go through, make it through that forest, and most of the ones that do end up fleeing back. And it's been that way for generations.
Why do they flee?
Oh, do you ask the innkeep? Yeah. Do you bring it up to the innkeep?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like baboon-like creatures, the high-highs, are there that come out at night. They find their way to the village there and see if they survive at the village on occasion, see all sorts of things. They always run back this way.
Oh, they won't be a problem anymore. We cleared those out.
You what?
We cleared them out. We fixed the problem. Table, you said? Do you have sake?
Here.
This table will do us fine. Here, settle down, my friends.
And I'll say, Reniori, do you recognize Kona here? Who's the only other person here?
Sure.
Reniori, don't tell me that those baboon creatures had some sort of a bounty on them. What possible crime could they have committed?
Oh, I tried to squeeze some profit out of it, but you know how Kota can be. squeezing pennies from my purse.
We were fed and we got sake. That is enough.
No. Rin Yori is correct. Coin is very important. Very important. It's why risk your life for a meal? Gold is, well.
Because as the Buddha instructs, when you risk your life for a meal, the meal that you savor as a result is the most savory meal in the biggest feast you have ever had.
No, the biggest feast I ever had was when I gambled for 3 days straight and never lost a roll. I went out and I bought out the biggest restaurant in town. I had them serving food for passersby, for anybody who came in. I spent so much money that was the sweetest meal I have ever had, the savoriest.
Have you never heard the parable of the tiger that chased the villager off the cliff?
And I signal the barkeep for food and drink because it's going to be a while.
Yeah, he brings some.
And then there's a montage of the sun setting. No, just kidding.
I don't know if we're gonna.
Oh, please go ahead and do that. Well, if you'd like to, I can certainly share it. But if you want to do a montage, that's fine as well.
Well, I want to hear it.
Now I'm curious.
Okay. This is an actual Zen koan. There was a villager out in a field and encountered a tiger. And the tiger, as tigers are wont to do, began chasing the villager because, well, the villager at that time looked tasty to the tiger. So the villager runs to the edge of this cliff and is cornered, and then decides the best thing to do is to try to climb down. But after reaching a root with the tiger overhead, there's no way down. As mice start chewing on the root, the villager knows he's about to fall to his death, but then he spies a strawberry. He takes a bite, and it's the sweetest strawberry he's ever had. I have butchered it in the telling, of course, but that is because I do not have enough sake yet.
That naturally you did, but I feel like it is better to avoid being chased off a cliff by a tiger in the first place than to take satisfaction in the strawberries one might happen to find as a result.
I merely note that food, after vanquishing a foe, after performing a good deed, after helping a community, is much more savory than food purchased with coin alone.
But in the koan, the villager was vanquished by the tiger. He did not defeat the tiger. So by your reasoning, the strawberry should have been less sweet.
And the villager had a strawberry. It is about the experience, savoring the moment, my friend.
Yes, but it seems like the point of the koan is that life is sweeter when one's from danger. I feel like this is a very good koan, but you have misunderstood it.
The point is to enjoy the moment, to savor each thing as it comes to you.
Yes, and to savor them far away from danger.
Just wait for like a little kid. Like, if he was about to die, how do you know he thought it was a sweet strawberry? Isn't he dead?
It sounds like only dice can solve this problem.
Dice or a Kyosaku bat?
All right, you want to do the montage into later? Sit down.
I am totally good with doing a montage.
Sure.
Okay. anything you want. Like this is a fairly small village. You pass through dozens like it. And like I said, this is one where at least Rinyori knows that north should be the bandit, of which there's a pretty good sized bounty. It's a bandit leader, unfortunately, which means there's often a bunch of people. Bandits themselves, the bandits under the leader, also will have a bounty. It's not as much, but sometimes volume does quite a bit.
Oh, interesting. And is this the same? This is the same forest where we cleared the highs? There's no more highs?
Yeah, well, you'd walked about a day or so. You probably walked maybe 2 days out of it.
So there are highs here?
Nope, not anymore. Because the thing was, like, south of this village, for probably like a 2-day travel, was the village that you were in. And the highs are at least no longer out and about after what you have done.
So we can get these bandits.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was unclear. That was south, the way you came. North,
Yeah.
which is the way that Koana came. That is where the bandits. So basically, if you just kind of keep going from the village up to the next one, which is the one Koana's already been through.
Okay. Okay. Well, is anyone interested in getting some bandits / money?
Oh, what do these bandits do?
Terrible things, I'm sure, as all bandits do.
That's true. Well, if they did terrible things, we probably ought to.
We probably have a
knock their
moral
heads in.
a
Show
moral
them.
obligation. Otherwise, they're going to go
True.
around eating people's strawberries. And the people that deserve the strawberries won't get the strawberries. I'm pretty sure that
I
was
feel
the
like
point.
you have not fully encompassed that koan, even after an entire evening of discussing it.
Well, I probably drank in excess that and
Yeah,
I
and
got
Zen is a
snippets.
very complicated philosophy. One cannot expect to understand a Zen koan in a single evenings of discussion.
Or
This
sober.
is very true.
exactly. Last night was honestly spotty for me.
Spotty as a strawberry. Anyway, this bandit, do we know anything about them? How many bandits are there? Where do they live? What sort of armament?
Well, there's one thing that's like the problem when you give you a thing for a bandit, they usually just say, unless there's something specific about it, like there's a bandit up here. Just because like intelligence like that's always a little bit, and unless you're right in the area where it's happened. So yeah, you're mostly just aware. He is a bandit leader. He was used to be a samurai who has gathered people together. And the problem with Ronin, sometimes who get bandits, is occasionally they just let the group be sloppy. That's the best scenario usually. Occasionally what they do is they actually start to whip the group of bandits they brought together into shape, which sometimes means you have bandits who are kind of ready to get rid of this guy who keeps making them do all these training and this other stuff when that's not the life they thought they were going to live. Other ones do realize this makes them a lot more formidable, so that's a little hard to tell. But he basically was wanted for banditry, wanted for thieving, like murdering, the standard sort of list of people who are preying on others to survive.
He's wanted for
All right,
T&M.
so the truly evil ones we will capture and bring in, and the ones who can be redeemed, Kota can redeem them, as he did the last. Are they still around? Those other bandits that you redeemed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They did
And-
come
and-
along with us.
yes, and the ones that have coin can play dice with me.
Kona, we have much to discuss.
Oh dear, no.
It is okay. We have a walk ahead of us. We will have much time to talk.
And to sing marching songs and drinking songs and marching drinking songs.
Oh, those sound
Singing is too loud. Singing will alert the bandits that we are on the way, but I can provide you instruction from the Buddha as we travel. This will be a good day for you. I feel it.
Buddha has a saying, "Stafu."
Is that the way he put it? Not sure which movie that was, but I like that one.
Yeah. That was a succinct one. Does everybody want to go to catch the capital E bandits? Evil.
So I'll travel with you, Ren.
Why not? It is a beautiful day. I have no other plans. Let us rid the world of this troublesome bandit.
And the bandits are in the direction of this interesting forest, right? With
Yeah, basically like forest was here.
It's no longer interesting. We took all the interesting parts on.
Through the forest. You're in the small village now, and then you head up.
Well, the roads are not safe, and my purse is depleted. So I suppose I will accompany you.
Maybe they'll run away from us into the haunted place. That's all we can hope for, really.
It's not haunted.
It will be when I'm there.
All right, so you head north?
Yeah, with reluctance.
Okay, and Connor, you're going with him?
Yeah. Yes.
Nope, I'm going to stay here. Play the drinking game version of this.
It's hard for you.
So it takes you're getting towards evening by the time you reach the next village. It's been sort of a long sort of walk. And the weird thing was, Taquana, you were through here maybe 2 days ago, and they had just had an attack. What's very clear as you come up, you see they're putting out a couple fires. There are some people kind of bleeding in the street. It looks like they are working on burying a few dead. There was another attack had just happened. And this is one where you've all seen places where bandits go before. Bandits will definitely prey on like groups of villages. But they're not normally back in a day or two. Like, they may wait their time to have people gather up the stuff to come in and take more stuff, and a lot of them will raid various different ones. It's weird to pop back in a day or so. And as you're approaching, you see people that are, say, like burying some dead. You see others who are kind of like scouting around the town, and I'm certain with the skills you've got, you probably notice one like these are not trained scouts. They don't have like an ex-military person who's out there, but you do see kind of perched in a place where they think they're hiding, kind of further down the road. You see someone who is sort of between a fence and these bushes, kind of watching in the direction. And you're kind of up on a ridge and able to look over this small farming village.
We try to walk so we're covering up the bandits that we have with us, so we look less bandity.
I'll say those two probably ended up taking off at one point, like heading their own way at one point, but with lots of promises to go straight.
They could have helped with burying these villagers. The next time I see them, I shall have crosswords with them.
They left a note in the night. We're gonna be better now. Okay, bye.
The other thing you see as you're sort of heading in that direction, you see that sort of like as the kid who's probably 15 or 16, as he's looking like very intently kind of up the path, what he's not doing is looking further down, like there's the fence kind of goes by the field and there's a bunch of bushes there. You actually see about five bandits that are crouched down so people on the other side aren't going to be able to see. They've got some old swords on them, and they are making their way towards that kid.
Uh-oh.
Well, that is not acceptable. These bandits are acting very strangely, just in general. There's no reason to raid a village 2 times in a row so quickly, because the village, once you've looted it once, they need time to get more things to loot again. If you loot them twice, there's no point, unless the goal is to terrorize the village. In which
Maybe
case
the village is haunted.
more than bandits. This is more of a holding situation.
A holding?
Yes, like trying to hold character. assert their authority over an area.
Mm.
It's not
Perhaps-
just a quick raid and moving on.
Maybe the village is haunted.
Not
Well,
all
if it
villages
does, we can marry you off, whatever it is.
Yeah. Until we get there, everything's haunted. Okay, so
Regardless, I believe we should come to the aid of this child.
Yeah, but if we go after the kid, he's going to attack us because he can't see the bandits is what I'm worried about. Like if we try to shoot a bow or...
So we go after the bandits.
Do any of you even have a bow?
I think I have a bow.
Good question. Nope, I don't.
Oh god, seeing a snake use a bow would be fantastic. Just like the tail.
Yeah, my tail wraps around and goes. Shh. Yes, I have a spear and a bow. So are we in bow shot? Like, can I?
Yep, definitely within bow shot.
Okay. I will yell, "Child! Bandits approach you! Run away! We'll try to protect you!" And I will shoot at one of the bandits.
It'd probably be more like, "Child, bandits, you almost have to use your mouth for that, wouldn't you? Or you have to like kind of grab it with part of the tail and then the other part pull it back.
That's why I'm Mario the Fang. I have a fang that sticks that's right, and it's not tangled because I use for my bow.
It's like a guitar pick for a bow. That's. And what'd you get?
Oh, right. I forget. I have special moves for this, I think. I forget how this works. Am I just rolling 2 dice?
Yeah,
Like,
it's plus story points. You will have story points after this sort of little introduction thing. You have none. So right now it's just
it's just a flat roll.
yeah, just a flat roll, and then you've got your attack move tells you how well you did on that.
Okay. That's a 6.
Okay. So with yours, it's a miss. However, if your next move, Kikatsu, if your next move is the same, if you fire again, you can take +3 on that.
Excellent.
So it's one of the things it does if you miss. So as they're kind of coming, like you see one of them coming up there and then like right in front of one of the bandits, and then the kid kind of hears you come and then looks and sees them. As he sees that the bow shot is nowhere near in his direction. And you've got these 5 that are now they're a little bit distant at this point because you are in bow shot range. What do the rest of you do?
I anime run at them.
Okay. Is there like who all is heading towards them and who all is?
And I think I'm looking around. I think I'm reading the situation.
Okay. You want to go ahead and make your read a sitch?
That's a 7. So, just a second there while I look at the question. Who is really in charge here with these bandits?
So it's easy to tell who's the leader of that particular group. However, I'll answer a little more than that. What they're doing right now, like it doesn't appear from where you can see, and you're up on a ridge enough that you can kind of get a good lay of the land. You're not seeing other ones who seem to be in a position to attack, and then a small group kind of coming back after one of them is not usual bandit tactics. So like there's the one in the lead. This is a small, relatively weak group, but the tactics they're using, coming after maybe one kid because there's not enough. There's no backup around them, and it's kind of easy to see that is weird. So as far as that, there's going to be something else going on with that, and you have a +1 forward if you do anything that deals with the fact that there's a little more than meets the eye here. And then Rinuri, you're running down the way. And Coda, what are you doing?
I have tucked my limbs back into my shell, and I am rolling toward the bandits as quickly as I can.
I will say one of the things with Usagi Yojimbo, they're anthropomorphic in the fact that they look like animals, but they don't have all of the other animal stuff. They're essentially just humans who happen to look animalistic.
But can he have a shell if he wants one, in the way that I can have no limbs if I want them? We're here for the shtick, really.
Yeah, so as you two are heading through, and the bandits are kind of rushing their way up towards all of you, which will lead us into the next turn. Who wishes to go first?
Well, I'm happy to fire another arrow now with +3.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a 12.
All right. What does that get you?
Good question. I score a strong hit, or I may use a special.
Oh, what is special for your bow?
Yep, I'm checking. We've got retreat. We've got score a strong hit on a foe of my choice. Oh, right, that is the retreat. Sorry. Weak hits against a group of targets. Yeah.
Yeah, so
that sounds like a volley sounds perfect.
Yeah, the volley as you all are running down, it's just like this, like before you can even get to them. Do you take all of them out, or do you want to leave one?
I will. Let's see. Do you guys want to play two? Yeah, I'll leave one. But they're really good shots. It's like, there's like the one that like got pinned to the tree by their collar and stuff like that.
All right, so now the two of you that are down there, you have a single weak enemy who's now just like sitting by himself, standing like terrified with a sword in his hands, and the sword isn't coming up to like a blocking position or anything, and he's just like.
We should do a special attack. Do a special attack, Coda. You and I. I'll jump on your shell.
What, some kind of fast shell special or something?
Something like that.
I mean, I can stop and you can just like run and jump off of my shell if you like.
Well, I think in the fiction, or mechanically, I just want to help with your move.
Yeah,
okay.
One of you would just be giving like support to the other one, or support.
Well, Fraser, do you want to take this bandit out, or do you want me to do it?
No,
I'm totally okay if you want to do it. Okay.
No, you can do it. That's fine, and I'll help.
Then let's just let's go with the silliness of a somersaulting turtle bowling over a bandit.
Sounds good.
All right. I will make you roll.
Do I roll first to help?
It's not letting me roll.
I might check, see if something popped up on the screen, because sometimes something will block the where it asks you for the modifier.
Yeah, hang on a second here. It is not rolling. All right, let me do this a little bit differently.
I think
sorry about that.
Just search on roll 2d6 on Google. It will in fact do that for you.
Or you can hit /roll2d6 on the. in the thing. Very often, is your character sheet up in the middle of the page?
Um,
No, we're not.
yeah,
We're not-
actually it is.
Okay, so we're not using the actual like Roll20 character sheets. That's the problem we've run into before. With one of those, will get in the way, and then they don't realize
Okay.
the.
I used roll dice with friends, and I got a 9.
Okay. Yeah, if you ever want to, just in the chat thing on Roll20, if you hit slash roll 2d6, it'll do the same thing.
Gotcha.
So, what is a 9 for yours?
9 for mine is score a weak hit.
Okay, and this is a weak enemy. Tell me what happens as you just kind of bowl through them.
I just roll through him. I hit him in the legs. He kind of stumbles, does a flip, lands flat on his back. And Ren, I think this is when you catch up. And there's a bandit in front of you on their back, staring up at you.
I say, come with me if you want to live.
In the accent, or are you the Schwarzenegger?
No. Schwarzenegger doesn't exist here.
And about that time, you see kind of behind the, like from the village itself, a bunch of, it looks like some of them have some cuts and scrapes and such on them. Villagers kind of rush up, and they have like pitchforks. They've got like farming implementation. A few of them have like hastily kind of put together spears, and they're sort of rushing up, and then sort of stop as you've got that group of bandits dead, and then the one who's got you above them. Everyone, go ahead and take one story point.
Right, and I'm going to approach the one who's pinned to the tree, and I'm telling him these blood-curdling stories of Rin, the ruthless bounty hunter, and Ryo, the bloodthirsty soldier, and Kota Demon Slayer, and these villagers that look very angry. And it would be a really good idea if you told me something about what's going on here, so I can help you.
He's just sort of terrified, looking up, because I think he also has the turtle right on top of him.
I was going to the one that was pinned to the tree by an arrow.
Oh, I thought had you killed the ones that you'd hit with the bow?
I am a little unclear on what's appropriate, both in this system and in general. Sort of like, is this a we kill our enemies sort of scenario, or is this
basically bandits? Like it's one of those things that going source material. Usagi spares people when they are sort of far beneath the station, or they're not ones who are like actually like harming people. Like bandits who are like attacking a village, he'll kill a ton of them very quickly.
Okay, they're dead then.
Yeah, if this is just like a bunch of drunks in town, he'll use like thing on the sword. So yeah, there's
all right. She had just mentioned that one of them had been pinned to a tree, so I was like,
yeah,
okay, here's one I could. There's one we can interrogate.
The one I pinned to the tree.
Yeah,
because you gotta leave one alive for questioning.
I thought that was the one.
Well, the guy
that's the one that Coda just balled in, just like rolled into.
Yeah, you can talk to the one that I saved.
All right. Sure. Yeah. So I am negotiating with this one. I am explaining how extremely scary all of the others are, and these villagers also look quite angry. And suggesting it would be very good if he were to give some information and be quite cooperative.
Okay. And then Coda, since you are on top of him, are you adding anything to this or saying anything?
I smile and wave, like hi.
In a menacing way?
I would say
I am a portly Buddhist priest. I'm not sure anything that I can do is menacing.
Yeah, I would say, Quantum, go ahead and make your negotiation roll. Make it negotiate. So add negotiation and also add a +1 from your +1 forward from earlier.
So that becomes a 9 because that's my negotiation is 3d6 minus 3 normally.
Okay, which is
now. If I spend a story point, can I bump that up to a 10?
Honestly, it's weak enemies, so weak negotiation is actually fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weak negotiation against like weak enemies. The only reason he'd be rolling away at all here is probably what you're kind of about to find out. There's a moment where he's just like, no, they'll kill me. They'll kill me. Like, there's no possible way. And like
yes, they are. Yes, oh yes, these bounty hunters. They don't care whether they take you in dead or alive. They will kill you. You must please help me. I can't stand the sight of blood.
It's the ninja. Please don't kill me. Please protect me from them. It's them.
Ninja.
First Hi-Hi's, now Ninja? This part of the land is plagued.
Yes, I don't like ninja. They cheat. Never pay their debts.
No sense of honor.
No.
Actually,
never gamble with ninja.
Yeah, ninja actually have a very strong sense of honor. It's just that whatever they're told to do from their lord, they'll kill whoever else they have to. Their honor is very much whatever their lord needs, even more than samurai.
So their lord told them to cheat.
Oh yeah, in that case, they're much more willing to break the things. As the highly developed sense of honor, they just have more. They have more leeway in accomplishing it than samurai tend to have.
I think I stand by that as an in-character statement.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's weird that some ninja would be behind bandit attacks in a small village. They're usually, most ninja clans work for one fairly major lord or another.
Can I try to do my schooling to know things? Would that be pertinent?
Yep.
Roll plus schooling. Roll plus 0. Okay. Oh, and also, should I have erased my support and setback?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 8 o'clock.
Oh. Good to know. Okay, so 2 days. 7.
Okay. What do you want to know?
I like that one of them is, what is the answer to this math problem? I think just the first one, what happened in history that's relevant to what's going on here? Maybe so we know what ninja they're talking about and stuff, maybe?
Oh. Yeah, so kind of knowing the stuff in the area, and the nice thing about being a bounty hunter, you travel a lot. You kind of need to know what lords and such are in various places. But here, you're kind of close to Lord Hori's domain. Lord Hori is... he's a lord that has kind of not a lot of love for the shogun, as far as you're aware. And he actually is sort of rich enough that he might actually have a group of ninja working for him. It's just you're unaware of anything in this area that might be needed. It's not... There's not a military reason to come through here. I mean, this is an area that, partly because of the haunted forest, you don't see a lot of traffic through.
I see.
And it's what you hear. One of the leaders is like, of the village. You've come from the village up north or south of us?
Yes, we have.
They mentioned you had a bit of trouble with bandits.
We have very little we can offer, but anything we have, we could work for it, any food, anything. But we've been attacked every couple days for 3 weeks now.
Do you know who is behind these attacks?
Kozubaru Suga, a bandit leader in this area. One of our people disappeared a few weeks ago, and then shortly after, they started attacking. We don't know if he had found a way to their camp or what. But ever since, we've known not more than a few days of peace.
It's almost as though you're being punished.
I don't know what for. Yuri had returned. Two of them went out. One returned. He was arrows in him. You could barely understand what he was saying as he died. But then, since then, they've just kept coming, and we've buried our dead and we've set up our defenses. But we're exhausted. We're not soldiers, and we sent someone to go try to get our lord's attention to get some help, but they haven't returned. We don't even know if they managed to make it. We're desperate and we're dying, and we desperately need help.
That's the Lord Hori?
Lord Hori owns this entire domain.
Interesting.
Well, I've certainly worked with fortifications before, back from my times of war. So at the very least, I can inspect what they're doing and make sure that their defenses are as good as they can be, considering they're a bunch of villagers.
Okay.
So I feel like that's what I'm doing, though perhaps the rest of you have better, I don't know, contacting the Lord, scouting the bandits' camp.
One thing you're going to notice if like fairly quickly you start looking over, the horses and the oxen and stuff haven't been touched.
They're like beef.
So they've been doing volleys of arrows, but very carefully avoiding the livestock?
Yeah, the livestock itself, and I mean, it's not unusual for raiders to take horses and such, but like even the oxen that are used to plow the fields, they all seem like what you're looking here looks about the right amount to work fields this size.
All right, and how about like the houses and things? Have there been any fire arrows being used, anything like that?
Some, and you actually have noticed like at night I guess it's getting kind of closer too. They're actually taking like buckets of water from the stream and they're kind of like throwing them up onto the houses just to keep them a little less fireable, like flammable. You also see that there are several places where some, like at least one or two, have burnt down entirely. Other ones have taken like a little bit of burns, but apparently they had people on water brigade and running back and forth.
So at first, when I saw that the livestock had been untouched, I thought perhaps they were trying to drive the villagers off so that they could occupy the village, but they presumably also not damage the buildings in that case as well. This is interesting.
So it sounds like you're going to go with them to get some I won't say fortments, but that's not the right word. Put up?
Fortifications.
Fortifications, thank you.
We are strengthening the fortifications. Come on, Nozumi, we'll help them out.
All right. What are other... We'll do some stuff with that here in a moment. What are other people doing with... doing here?
I'm going to look at the grave sites, make sure that the dead are properly blessed and sent off correctly, and also try to help with putting out fires, seeing if there are any wounded and trying to tend to them.
Excellent.
And I'm going to seek out the local disreputable portion of the population and get into a dice game and pick up whatever gossip I can.
Okay.
I guess I'll secure the prisoner and try to get more out of them.
All right. Let's kind of take that around. So you kind of see one of the sort of the heads of the farmers, Rio, is Fumito, who is certain types of farmers get kind of like thin and wiry, and kind of others kind of become kind of big enough that they work with a lot of the bigger things. He's a dog, stands fairly tall, and is pretty strong. And it seems like he's been he's kind of put up like a basic sort of barricade, hay bales and other stuff in there just to sort of have a little bit of cover. But he's kind of had a work crew coming. They've been helping get like water and other stuff there. Yeah, he's like, when you talk about fortifications, he's like, is there anything we can do? We're not warriors. We don't know how to do any of that.
So how are they attacking you? Is it mostly arrows from a distance?
Because we get through and kind of like one part of a forest, some arrows from either that direction or kind of points back up towards the way you came. Or from there, and about the same time, we often get some people who are sneaking through the fields at night, horses rushing through the village, killing a few here and there, or attacking. We've been trying to wall off things as much as possible. Like, you've seen some places where they've taken like carts and upended them on some narrow streets. I mean, the narrow, like between some of the houses. Streets make it something this is bigger than it is. But yeah, the stuff he's describing are sort of harassment tactics, and like there's not yet to be an all-out strike, but.
Right. So this is telling me that they could take your. As I understand the number of bandits and the things you're telling me, they could probably take your village whenever they wished. So it makes me wonder why they haven't.
His face falls at that point. He's just... I have no idea if... We thought we were trying to defend as much as possible, but I guess we don't have enough.
No. You're looking at this as a bad thing. This is an opportunity. We need to understand what it is, why they're doing this, and then we can solve the problem. They're either waiting for something, or is something preventing them? They're waiting for the circumstances to be correct, or taking your village completely is simply not the goal. Did you notice how they've been leaving your livestock alone?
Why would they attack the livestock?
Well, why wouldn't they? They're fire arrows. Why would you be indiscriminate about that? If they wanted to sow chaos, then letting the oxen free is a good way to really mess with your forces.
What would you want her on? It's a tiny farming village in the middle of nothing. I mean,
Indeed, this is most mysterious. I don't understand their thoughts on this.
We thought it might just be plain cruelty and evil. Like, they're not even stealing from us.
They're not stealing? All right. No, I think there's a bit more method to it than that, but there is a certain sadism to their tactics. I will give you that. Well, now that we know what they are doing, you and I shall sit together and figure out what resources you have and how we can build better barricades for you to prevent, the horses riding through. That is something we can prevent. The one sneaking through the field, that will be trickier, but there are some ways you can do things involving string, long pieces of string and bells attached to them, which can trip up a scout. I've used this in the past.
To see how
I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, to see how well you do, I'm going to give you a +1 on this. Go ahead and make an overcome roll, which is use your righteousness, as you're kind of gathering people and getting them to get fortifications, set traps, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, righteousness, and you gave me a +1, so that's +2. 6. I'm willing to throw a story point at that if I can do that now.
You can.
Or did I?
That would give you a +3.
That'll bring me up to a 9.
Okay. Yeah, so that would give you essentially it's a weak demand or strong compromise. Basically, you're able to kind of create fortifications that will be difficult for like a weak group, and which is the ones you saw were weak. They're either that's the level of the bandits, or that was just a small group of their scouts. But yeah,
can I throw another story point at it?
Yeah, if you want to help out with that.
Okay. Because that'll get it to will that make it a 10 plus? Will that make it 10 or 12?
That would make it 12. So someone giving a support would get it to 10, which would bring it over into a stronger one.
Okay, I'll throw my story point at it.
Okay. Well, I said, instead of your story point, unless you want to get to 13, with someone else running them, if you just throw a support point instead, you give a +1, which will bring it up to strong.
The thing is, I'm not sure I have any support points right now.
Everyone starts off with 1 support.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everyone should have 1 support. Right now, everyone should have 1 support, 1 story point, unless you just spent it. You should have no setback and no
So 1 story, 1 support, and no setback.
Yeah, no setback, and then no none of your value should be impaired.
Well, so let me ask this: what happens if we turn it into a 13?
You would have a grand one. You'd have a really difficult to get through set of traps and fortifications.
Marley, do you want to have amazing fortifications?
That sounds kind of awesome.
All right. I will spend my support and story point to do that.
Ooh, fancy. Thank you. And just to be clear, so I'm understanding the mechanic. I spent my story point, so now I have 2 support. Yep. That becomes a support. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And while you're doing that, then Coda, you'll kind of, this will be before you head over to help with that. Yeah, you got like the grave sites where the people are burying them.
And there's not much I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the graves are already dug. Most of the bodies are already in the graves, but I can at least say a quick prayer over each grave to make sure that they are sent off appropriately.
Yeah, and one of them sort of looks up and kind of bows his head. He goes, "Thank you. We have no bonze near here. One comes around once in a great while to bless them, but normally not this soon after."
It's fortunate that I was nearby then.
There are some of the wounded. I don't know if you have any medical skills, but he points towards one of the houses. In there, we have a few who are wounded.
Of course. I'll be on my way.
Nay is doing his best, but Nay's not a particularly good doctor.
Well, perhaps I can teach him a few things so that your community will be better prepared in the future.
Okay. And you head to the house?
Yep.
Okay. In the house itself, there is some of the floor has been like things have been cleared, moved out of it, and you have just like some straw mats and such with some bedding across the floor. And there you have about four people with some various wounds, some of which are they'd be like less terrible if they were somewhere, but like one of them is just leg has been hurt bad enough that walking and moving is gonna be difficult. A few other ones have got some pretty bad slashes on them that are going to require a little bit of work. But as you sort of come in, there's probably a middle-aged man, or probably young middle-aged man, looks up and he looks utterly exhausted. He's got blood on him from helping them. Looks like he maybe hasn't slept much in the last day or so. He goes, "You're the ones who saved Deo."
We are travelers, yes, and we stopped the bandits from acting earlier.
Okay. He's taking some water and kind of wringing out like a thing. "I'm Nay. I was taught by my father before he died."
You're also exhausted. Please, Sit.
I am.
Let me help.
Are you have training in medicine?
I'm a priest. I have training in many things.
And with, like almost gratefully, like there's almost tears in his eyes as he kind of like slumps against the wall and sort of slides down. 'Cause- and he mentions a root that's nearby. He goes, "I gave that to them," and like what he gave them is essentially like when you sort of put it together, it's a light painkiller and a bit of a sedative.
Mm-hmm.
You would there might be stronger things around here. You'd have to kind of check deeper in the woods and such, but it's not a bad thing to give them. Because I gave them this root, and it's eased their pain because they're thrashing around less, and hopefully it'll help the wounds heal.
Are the wounds bound correctly, or have they been treated correctly?
The basic bindings are correct. They're not expert. They're also a little sloppy. There's other things with the binding, like there's like other like herbs and other stuff you'd be able to put in there that would help, like some poultices and such. But he doesn't have that knowledge. He's got basic. Here's the stuff you teach someone who's just learning the basics.
So, do I see anything on hand that I can use to provide better treatment, or will I need to go into the forest for that?
Yeah, as you sort of look around, you actually see like there is like a cabinet up there that looks fairly well stocked.
Okay. Well, in that case, I would like to use my unique move,
Okay.
which is Buddhism. And up to 6 allows me to invoke a weak aspect of Buddhism. I can remove a setback from a friend. Up to 9, I can perform strong doctoring or medicine on a sickly person. 10 or more, I can perform grand doctoring or medicine on a sickly person.
All right. And you're going to roll with your support.
Yeah, and I have 1 support point at the moment.
Well, you actually should have 2 because you spent a
I spent a story point, but I also spent a support point to get it to 13.
Oh, true. Yep, you are correct. Sorry.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll happily take +2, but roll 2d6. That is an 8 plus 9.
Okay. What's that? What was that? Strong?
Strong doctoring or medicine on a sickly person.
Okay. So nice thing. You actually look up there and like as you're going through and like this is like he should have been using these. Like they seem a little bit old. He just kind of goes, "Those are my father's. He didn't teach me how to use many of them before he died."
Well, pay attention. I'll show you.
Yeah, like there's dust on a bunch of these. Like as you're kind of looking through, they've been sitting here a while, but you kind of know what's still going to be good.
All right, and is that enough to? Will I need to make another roll to heal everybody,
No,
or
that's just for the whole thing.
that's sufficient? Okay.
Yeah, as you manage to kind of get them, like they're gonna be okay. Like the wounds they took were not great. Like one guy's gonna probably have a limp the rest of his life, but like it's like the stuff there's clean enough, and thankfully what was already done to them was you've managed to improve upon it, but the basics made it. He didn't make the Nate didn't make it worse.
Okay.
So at one point he just goes, "You look like you've seen your way maybe around wounds like this or a battlefield before."
There's no reason I'm a priest.
If you could please talk to Caillou. I've been trying to convince him that we need to take everyone go, but he won't do it.
I believe my friends and I have a different plan. We want you to be able to live here safe, free from fear and free from harm. You shouldn't be chased off your land by bandits.
We're doing a whole lot to keep it.
Well, we're here now. Now come, let me show you how to bind these wounds in case anything like this happens in the future.
Yeah.
I can teach you a few things to help you be a better doctor.
Okay. And you show him a couple, but he's getting close to nodding off at a certain point, just because he's been up for. He's trying his best to stay with you. This might be a good time to pop over to Rin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll if there's an unused hut or something like that, I'll use that. Or
Yeah,
other.
Key, the leader, actually mentions like, we have my place. My place is free. It's big enough that no one will hear what you have to do.
Okay.
I asked to be with you when you question him. My son. My son did not return.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll use that place, I guess, but I try to take him as circuitous a route as possible so that less people see him and get like incensed and
Okay.
stuff.
Yep. He takes a little bit through like some behind some of the buildings and in between, and then he's able to get you through like the back door and into, and it's the biggest house in the village, which is standard for kind of the elder or the leader, but it's not. It's still pretty small comparatively.
Okay. And I say, in terms of justice, you have accounting to do with these people, and I'm sure I know a priest that will have some words with you soon. But your situation will be improved if you tell me everything you know about this.
With Kazuburo Suga, we were, and then he just Atsushi's like, "Where's my son?" Or Caillou rather says, "Where's Atsushi? You killed his friend when they were out in the woods. He came back and he just kind of looks and is like, you've killed a lot of people."
Okay, I guess it's good cop, bad cop.
You see that Caillou's face goes red.
Yeah.
He's also a dog. Like, and the village is mostly dogs. Just like the nostrils start to flare, and you see his hands start to ball up.
And I say you better start telling us stuff, or these people will have their way with you.
Make a negotiation roll. Give yourself we'll give you +2 for this,
Okay.
and on top of your normal.
Oh, that's good because it was -1. So +9, and then I'll do a support point.
Okay. Yeah, his a strong negotiation against a weak enemy. So his tongue is loosened pretty quickly. He's just like, at one point he's just like, the best thing any of you can do is just to get the hell out of here. They're going to come and they're not going to stop until everyone's gone.
Why do they want this place?
He's kind of like looking between the two of you.
I like step aside so that the leader can like start moving towards him to fuck him up.
Kind of very down, like fist on around his throat. Do you let him give a punch in?
I'll like hold his arm before he punches, and I kind of give the guy a meaningful look, like better start talking.
And it's not a little thing to hold this punch back. He like how he's super angry, is furious. He just goes, we've been raiding villages in the area. Every once in a while we'd hit them, get some food, get some drink, grab any money we could. We wait till the harvest. We're not stupid. We go out usually fairly far, but then these 4 ninjas show up, talk with Kozubaru, and next thing we know, our job is to get these villagers out of here. And they just won't leave. And Kai's like, "Where's my son?"
Did any people survive? Is there a chance this man's son is alive?
We don't take prisoners.
Okay. Bad answer.
Do you go?
No, I don't think Coda would like that. I'll just try to take the leader out and say that this person might have more information, and we need to make sure that we handle things properly. We don't want to denigrate ourselves to their level. Maybe take a walk in the field. Or go talk to Coda. That'll calm you down.
Roll negotiation for him because he's like,
Mad.
Yeah, well, he wants to know what happened to his son.
Yeah. What? Didn't we learn?
You may have accepted it. He clearly does not seem to have done it.
Okay. I see. Oh, that's a 4.
Okay. And he just kind of gets in your face. He's like, that man took my son. And like he's yelling. And all around. And the thing is it's very clear he's not angry at you. Well, he's angry with you for stopping him, but he knows who his enemy is. And he goes, if there's anyone I can find out, who took him or what happened, will take their throat with my own hands. And you are not going to stop this in front of like all the people, some of the people who are sort of working not too far from it. See him as he, we'll say he storms off, but go ahead and give yourself a setback point and make a setback roll.
Setback. So just roll +1, right?
-1.
Or -1, right? That makes sense. That's a 4 again. I like 4s.
A 4?
Yeah.
Impair one of your attributes.
I will say that I was embarrassed. Because I think I kind of agree with him too. The Coda rubbed off on me a little bit. But then I got embarrassed because he yelled at me in front of everybody.
And as you go back in, you're gonna be able to find a bit of like it's a band of. There's about 12 people left in the band, they're used to like coming in, striking hard, and then taking off. And the Kuzuboru actually had worked with them to make them more effective together, which that's a problem. You've definitely seen bigger bands, but a small band with discipline can be difficult.
Okay.
But as far as why the ninjas are there, he was never told. But they seem to be the one telling Kuzuboru what to do.
Okay. Well, I said you're going to have to account to these people, and especially that man out there. So hopefully you can live with your actions.
All right. And then over to Kwana.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking for the criminal element because I figure they're probably best informed as to what's really going on.
Yeah, you actually managed to find that there's some people that they managed to take a little bit of time away to have something to drink. Not far, like they're just a little bit in the forest that are sort of around it, but you kind of know where to kind of look. And a few of them just sort of like pop as they see you, if you just sort of come out and then relax. Offer up a drink.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've got some small coins that I pay with, and it's like I buy a round of drinks.
Well, they're out in the forest, so they've got like they just got like a bottle with them.
All right. And
why?
Thank you, my friend. And
we saw what you and your friends did. That's good timing for you to come.
I did nothing. I am not a fighter. But they are good people to travel with, and they are good people to have at your side when trouble comes.
Those sort of last. The one you can like, Tomo, kind of the bigger one there. You're looking at him. This dude's been in fights. You can tell. He goes, maybe good to be travel with, but you're dealing with bandits and samurais taught how to fight. That gang used to be nothing until he took over.
What puzzles me is why would a man like that join up with such a petty group of bandits? His leadership seems wasted on such small things.
Well, see, we're in a position I don't know how much you know about Lord Hori.
Oh, the words everywhere are all the same.
Yeah, but this one has a particular problem with the Shogun. See, I used to be a mercenary before, and then he just kind of looks. You can see his legs been kind of mangled up in the past. There are a number of lords who may be looking at uprising. The only problem is Lord Horry's doesn't quite have the money to afford the army to do it. There is, however, lately some talk about some more money coming in. Stuff I heard before I returned back home. What was happening a decent amount was you basically had small-time samurai or small-time ronin heading out and taking ownership of one of the gangs, trying to whip them to shape to be mercenaries. But I gotta say, unless Hori's got some money coming from somewhere, I don't see how he's gonna be able to afford it.
Well, I don't see how I could get any money out of this village. It's ridiculous. You don't have money. Why? Wow.
Hasn't been money here since we had mines years and years and years ago, but those tapped out, and every time we've gone back into them, haven't found anything. I mean, we still go drinking there on occasion. Nothing's there.
Really? Oh, what did you mine here?
A small silver mine, like many years ago, but tapped out. And kind of like points. It's on the opposite side. Like you got the fields and such, like the direction that they sort of came in. On the opposite side there, a little further out. Like I said, small, and then everything it just went into the ground and became, instead of being rock, started to become earth again.
Lord Hori owns these mines, I suppose. He could open them up if he thought there was anything.
Yeah, he owns the very air that we breathe. Well,
how interesting.
Up to here, a little to the west of us, abuts on another lord's land.
Ah, I suppose that lord has. There's no silver over there. So I suppose it's all Lord Hori's side.
Yeah, there's a small range of hills, pretty much all on Lord Hori's side. And also Lord Tagami is loyal to the Shogun, which Hori has to pretend to be, but is not.
Yeah. I think I've basically got in the picture here, unless there's a point to continuing the conversation.
I think at that point, if you continue, maybe if you play for a little bit or something.
Right.
They don't have a lot as far as money goes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm just social gambling.
Okay. All right. So at some point, you all come back together.
Well, I think these fortifications will hold. It turns out that the stakes that they use to repair the fences actually work really well for those angled fortifications to repel horses. We've put some traps in the field that will slow down some of their spies. Actually feeling pretty good about this, except... have any of you gotten the feeling that they're just trying to run these villagers off? These are harassing tactics. They're not stealing anything, and they're keeping the livestock intact as well.
Yeah, that's what the bandit said, that their orders are to drive the villagers out, but they just won't leave. Also, the bandit leader might kill one of the bandits. I don't have a problem with that, but if you do, then you should know.
Yes, well, quite obviously, the Lord Hori has hired these ninjas to eliminate all witnesses, so no one will notice when he encroaches upon Lord what's his name's land to reopen open the silver mines. Obviously, he has found a new lode, which is not on his own land.
Really? There is something of value in this village?
Near this village. But Lord Hori cannot open these mines in secret when the villagers would be sure to see. But if the villagers were to abandon the village, there would be no witnesses to his illegal mining activities.
Oh, I see.
And with this failure, it'll probably escalate then.
Then our course of action is simple.
We should leave and send a message to the Shogun?
Of course not. We mix up explosives and we destroy the entrance to the mine.
That is interesting. I had thought that perhaps the obvious thing to do was, since the point of killing the villagers was to hide a secret, if that secret was no longer a secret, we simply told everyone that there was silver in the mine, then the need to silence anyone would go away.
And I thought
that could result in conflict.
I thought the obvious thing was to go kill the ninjas.
Well,
we have 4 obvious things right now.
Ren, my friend, we can certainly make time to kill ninjas.
Is there a bounty on the ninjas, by the way?
Ninja rarely have bounties because part of the clan.
Yes. I'm surprised. I'm just surprised that Rin chose that option.
I could just dress them like bandits.
I am merely saying that, if possible, I would like to try to redeem them before you kill them. They may be able to be productive citizens yet.
Oh, the villager who went missing right before the raids happened. Do you think this one knew about the mine? Perhaps they discovered a silver lode?
Oh, that is possible, and that would be the proof that we need to inform Lord T, whatever his name was, and get a substantial reward from him.
Good old T.
Yes, Mr. T.
The somewhat delicate part of that is it is not clear to me at this time whether the one who went missing was missing in a voluntary or involuntary fashion.
The bandits said that they slew everybody. Nobody survived as well. So
yes, but if this villager had valuable information, they might have kept him alive. There is a chance.
It's possible.
Or if that villager was a traitor.
If anybody knows the odds.
Oh, 50-50. I like those odds.
Okay, so you think we should go try to retrieve this person with valuable intel, possibly?
How confident are we that there's silver in the mine? Because I do have to admit, Kota's suggestion has merit.
Well, there is nothing else in this area that could be valuable, that could justify such an action.
Couldn't the villagers
logic tells us that there must be silver, but we have no proof.
And if there is, if we close the mine, wouldn't the villagers get poor instead of rich mining the silver?
They're farmers.
They are farmers. As far as the villagers are concerned, all of the silver was taken out of the ground long ago.
Yeah, but if it hasn't and there is silver, wouldn't they profit from it at all?
Well,
ideally, there would be silver in the mine and they would be left in peace to mine it themselves and enrich their lives. That being said, if they must choose between their lives and their riches, I believe in this case, they would pick their lives.
Yes, correct me if I am wrong, but I believe the village lies on Lord Hori's territory, and they would not be permitted to work on a mine on Lord T's territory.
What is that lord's name again?
There is Lord Hori is the one that owns this. The one that right near them is Lord Tagami.
Tagami, thank you.
And it's Lord Hori's mine, and Lord Tagami is trying to encroach, is what we think.
No. We think that Lord Hori has found silver on Lord Tagami's land.
Oh, it's on Lord Tagami's land. So
yes, and
he would be allowed to mine it regardless because it is not their mine.
If Lord Tagami wished to mine the silver, then he would use peasants from his own lands.
Yes.
And if Lord Hori were to mine the silver, he would use people he considered trustworthy, not local villagers. He must drive the local villagers away in order to safely mine on Lord Tagami's land.
The villagers will not benefit from.
Does anyone know anything of mining? Would oxen and horses be useful to that? Because they've been very carefully leaving the horses and oxen alone.
Pulling stones out.
Yep, exactly what Coda said.
What did Coda say?
Pulling stone out.
Yes.
They have to mine their way to get to the silver. Right. So they would need to move whatever's in the way out. Stones, rocks, dirt.
So in this case, the villagers here we're either depriving. Do we care that we're depriving other villagers of the silver then in this other land, or just about these villagers?
Ren, none of these villagers will benefit from this silver. All of it will go to the Lord.
Yes. But if we inform Lord Tagami of our suspicions, then he will most likely investigate and claim the silver for himself. Lord Hori's scheme can only succeed if Lord Tagami does not suspect.
And probably pay us handsomely for the information.
Yes, but in the meantime, would Lord Hori and Lord Tagami go to war over this? And how would that affect the villagers? Being in the middle of two warring factions.
It sounds like you need an answer to a math problem.
This is a math problem that doesn't take much lore to solve.
Are they truly on the brink of war? It seems that Lord Hori has been going to great lengths to try and move in secret.
And if you were Lord Tagami, what would you do if you discovered that?
If I were Lord Tagami, which I am not, I would move my soldiers very quickly to my mine, which is a very reasonable thing for me to do, and announce that I am exploring whether there is silver in that particular mine. And at that point, a very simple expedition on Lord Hori's part becomes very complicated. It is one thing to raid a unprotected mine, is another thing to try and raid. And you must mine the silver too. It is not as if this can be done quickly. If Lord Hori pursued this, it would be an act of war, yes, but it would be a very flagrant one, and they could appeal to the shogun.
The difficulty is that we do not know exactly where the new mine is. Presumably,
no, we can simply ask.
Yeah, presumably Lord Hori knows where the silver can be found, but.
But yeah, I agree that now we have discovered what the objective is. The mine must be neutralized, either by informing Lord Tagami and who will presumably protect his assets, neutralizing the mine in general by rendering it inert, or some third thing I'm not thinking of, possibly involving marrying people to demons. But we haven't any demons handy, so I assume it's one of the first two.
And one possibility is that if Lord Hori is already secretly operating this mine and taking silver out of it, if we could intercept one of his shipments of silver, that would provide the proof that we need.
And if some of it just happened to fall into your pocket on the way to inform Lord Tagami, who would notice?
Well, we need it in our pocket.
There are obviously many benefits to the course of action I propose.
How far is it to Lord Tagami's?
So these two lords actually, it's actually a quicker ride to Tagami's than it is to Hori's. You're looking, if you're having to walk, about 2 days. If you've got horses, you can probably make it between dawn and nightfall.
So, but if we're going to Lord Tagami's, then he'll pay more information if we know the exact location of the mine, probably. I could stalk somebody, maybe.
Sending a scout to the mine would not be the worst idea. Here. Let me ask a passing villager where exactly this mine is. I go do that.
Okay. Yeah, one of them's just like, oh, the old silver mine?
Mm-hmm.
It's not been usable. I mean, every once in a while they send someone, like every 10, 15 years, they send someone to check it out. Kind of points through the fields, kind of over the forest. It goes, there's a thin strip of forest there. Then it goes up into the old mines. It kind of abuts onto like a small, not quite a cliff face, but basically a large drop into the river.
All right. And I don't suppose it was assayed recently, was it?
I think it's been... I hadn't had my son yet, so maybe 7, 8 years the last time someone came through here looking.
All right. And it was someone from Lord Tagami's court.
No, Lord Hori.
Lord Hori owns the mine? I thought it was on Lord Tagami's land.
No, it's very close to Lord Tagami. It's... Yeah, it basically abuts up against the divide.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. The theory was that Lord Hori had found a new deposit of silver that was on the other lord's land.
So not this one, a different thing.
So not the existing mine, but a new mine nearby.
Sounds like I should stalk somebody.
Remind me what the name of the missing son was?
Missing son was Atsushi.
At Tsushima?
Or Atsushi.
Atsushi. Did Atsushi spend a lot of time in the mines?
Atsushi was a hunter. He would go into the forest hunting for deer and such quite a bit, but I mean around the mine, possibly.
But that wasn't his interest. It wasn't.
No, but the
He
forest.
isn't from a mining family or anything like that.
The forest is close to it. I mean, chances are he's been in that direction.
All right. Thank you.
So what do people want to do? I think that we should go look for this deposit, and probably they'll be around there, and then maybe we can kill them anyway. And then maybe we can find some silver, and then we could go to Lord Tagami or something like that.
I am not entirely comfortable leaving these villagers.
Nor am I. There are patients here who are under my care. I need to stay to make sure their condition doesn't worsen. And when the villages, I will be gracious and call him a doctor. When he awakes, I will need to teach him more.
Well, I'm sure more bandits will be incoming.
Yes.
They
That
will.
being said, we are treating the symptom and not the cause by simply repelling them.
Perhaps during their attack, one of us can slip away, follow them back.
Are you saying I should stalk them, Coda?
You are the best at such things.
It's true.
It is rather hard not to notice me. My shell may blend in with the trees and the grass, but I am not nearly as quiet as you are.
And I am far too handsome to go unnoticed.
Okay, so me alone then.
You are quiet
Well,
the way
then
only a bear can
maybe
be
you
quiet.
should. Maybe Kona should go to Lord Tagami's court then.
I would be honored to go and accept the reward on behalf of all four of us.
Just make sure you get it in writing. So that we can split it up equally.
All right, we good with quick with a good bio or good with a quick bio break.
Sure.
Okay. Do that.
I wonder how Marley got a picture.
free at 2, so why not?
I've actually been able to play a lot more because it is the middle of, or enough people are sort of sheltering in place, and it's been like, hey, let's get a game going with some friends I don't normally get a chance to do that with, which has been nice.
Yeah, sure.
Because normally with Gauntlet stuff, I don't know what my performance schedule or what my if I'm directing a show or like, I have no idea what I'm doing in 2 months at any given time. But now it's like, well, there go all my gigs.
I believe Puckett is back as well. So.
All right.
Well, Stephen.
So, you all been talking about this. It is getting towards nightfall. What is your plan?
I want to check in on the bandit, make sure that he is in a semi-viable condition, at least.
Yeah, well tied up. Looking very meek if anyone sort of comes in. Do you go to a place where you can see you, or you just like look through a window?
I might as well just go in and talk to him, because I have a sneaking suspicion that part of what I'm going to be doing tonight is making sure that he stays alive.
Yeah, he goes. Is there anything else I can help you with?
We'll see. Do you have another location of this mine?
I have no idea about a mine.
I see. Well, with any luck, if someone comes to kill you in the night, I will have an idea about when to be awake. So if you know anything about a mine, you should probably tell me.
We don't know a mine. We stay at, there's basically the ruins of a village that had gotten flooded a long time ago that we've been staying in, and he kind of like mentions where it's at, and it's not quite the opposite direction of the mine, but it's not far from it. That's where we've been. Like I said, we were staying there and hitting places as we could, and then the ninjas showed up, and
Well, you have made a grave mistake with this village, because it appears that the village leader's son is missing.
It's 9 o'clock.
there's a very good chance we killed him. I mean, was he one of the? You say he was missing?
He's not here. The village elder seems to think that you killed him. And I can although I am personally against killing, I can certainly understand his desire to see you dead.
And there's just a moment he goes, no, the only ones we killed when we come, but the ninja, when they showed up, they had blood on them.
I yell out the door for Ren.
I'll saunter in.
And I relay all this information.
Interesting. So
Isn't it though?
perhaps he is alive then.
Ren, this is why I always say that you get more information by talking with someone and listening than punching or threatening.
This time I didn't punch.
I understand you didn't, but the entire village heard the leader.
Exactly. So I warmed him up and let him stew here. And then you came in and twisted the top off the jar, so to speak.
Very well, Ren. Very well. Your interrogation tactics and techniques are exemplary.
I thank you for acknowledging me.
And Kona and Ryu, as you're sort of outside while they're having this conversation, you hear someone cry out from like the main strip of the village.
I grab my spear and go.
I go after her.
Yeah, you head out. You see that there's several of them. They're sort of like the fortifications are all set up, and there's several of them sort of staring at. There's a single fire arrow like in the middle of the road. It's starting to sputter out.
All right, everyone to your stations as we discussed.
And you hear a voice. It sounds like it's amplified some, like a, I want to say conch shell or something. It's like something sort of to help amplify it. Probably a shell of some sort. It goes, who is helping these villagers?
It is I, Ryo the Fang.
They probably have no reason to know who you were.
I don't think anyone knows who I am.
Well, you were a veteran, right?
I'm a veteran.
Yeah. Had you fought in like some big battles?
Probably.
Okay. Let us play. Let me get the history stuff real quick. You we'll put you in the same battle that Usagi was, at least maybe, or at least a part of it. Maybe you had fought in. The actual name of the. There's the battle where Clan Mifune fell to Lord Hikiji.
Okay.
It was a fairly large battle that had taken place, and it's in there somewhere. I can't remember the actual name of it. And you said, Ryo the Fang. Were you part of a mercenary company, or were you part of a lord's, like not their samurai, but like the standing army?
I'm not a mercenary.
Okay. Or were you a samurai?
The nerve! How dare you?
Were you a samurai?
No.
Okay.
Veteran infantry. That's what the playbook is.
Yeah. And there's just a moment where Ryo the Fang. Believe you fought with Mifune many years ago?
Interesting that you should know. Whom am I addressing?
The Lord of Atachigahara Plain. I am Kosubara Suga. I also fought at that battle. And I am he who leads this band.
And that was a great battle. Why do you lower yourself to harassing villagers?
Because with the Shogun, and less of a need for samurai, many of us have been turned out because our lords can no longer afford us. Many Ronin wander this area, and I am not going to beg for scraps as so many of my old brethren have done. These are impressive fortifications.
You may not beg for scraps, but you seem to be scrambling for them. These villagers have nothing. There is no need for this.
They have their lives, and if they leave now, they'll keep them.
You have your lives, and if you leave now, you may keep yours.
There's a moment. Let me just double check something. Yeah, we'll sort of say this. Make a negotiation roll.
Oh, that's gonna go nice. That's my dump stat. Let me check if I have specials that might. Yep. Nope. Nope. This is just gonna go badly. Okay. What is it?
This is one like if you've got like some people who are out to help, might be able to give like a support point, or I think you're the one with the teamwork.
I'm the one with the teamwork, so yeah. Let's see how bad this goes. It's just -1. That's not necessarily the worst. Five.
Okay.
So I am 2 away from a success, 1 away from a success?
2. Well,
Two.
the success would be a weak demand or a strong compromise. And part of that, like a strong compromise here, would likely be 2 days to clear out before they return with reinforcements.
Okay, but that takes a second. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Anyone gonna help me out, or am I just gonna?
Right.
You're just gonna hit this. Okay.
I only have
Eric,
one support point.
Right.
I'm-
Yeah.
Well, multiple people can get support points.
Right.
Well,
I mean, I'll throw in. I'll throw in. What I'll throw in a support point.
And you rolled five,
because we have a plan. I know that we really only need to hold out for a couple of days until we can get a message to Lord Tagami. So that's like I'm sort of just stall. That's all you have to do. You don't.
My support is spent, so you have +1.
Okay. And how do you two help as she's out there, like calling over the barricades?
Right.
Oh, I stand up on the barricades and say, and I start doing some mystic priest stuff. Say, I want you to understand, I have banished demons, and I can summon their return. Go away.
Okay. And then Kawana, what do you do? Are you just pressuring her for the stall?
Yeah. I'm just pointing out. All you have to do is stall. We just need. They don't know what we know, so they'll think that they can just come back in a couple of days and wipe us out. But if they do that, we'll have Lord Tagama's troops here.
And so could I spend a story point and then make it a really good success?
Yeah, that would because it's a 7 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be able to if you could bring it up to a 10.
Okay, so I'll do that, and then what I do, I think, is I show the captive that we have the bandit. I don't know, hang him from a rafter or something like that. Something menacing.
Okay. So you've killed 4 of my men, but kept 1.
Just for display purposes.
If your priest is able to summon demons, he should probably do so. The most I can give you is 3 days to clear from here. At which point, we come back with reinforcements. And more than demons.
Excellent. We will put those 3 days to good use.
You'll be watched, and he and about 5 of his people are in the middle of the road. There's others probably in the forest that's around him, as they kind of wheel their horses around and ride off. The one thing he did give his word, and as a samurai, most Ronin will still keep it. So
I want to stalk him.
do you?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, everyone take a story point.
Okay. Woo.
Wanted to stalk for forever.
Yep. I'll find that missing boy. Or some silver.
You're probably just going to find some ninja in their underwear.
As long as I can get at their coin purses.
Very embarrassing when we get attacked when we're in our underwear because we feel very less like ninjas. And then we're all embarrassed and we get killed. And I hate it so much.
On summer days, you can't be wearing that black all the time.
It's very hot. you make your roll?
A 9.
With doubles.
Yeah, double 4s.
What is which this is not one. This is not the one that's clicked for you. I don't think. This is not your stat. That's it's your negotiation. That's the problem right now.
Yeah,
So
negotiation.
what do you get with a 9 with stalking?
I get a strong clue about a person of interest, or follow a strong target without being seen,
Yep.
or flee.
That's what
Do you get anything more for a 12?
You won't necessarily need it for this. I mean, the thing is,
Okay.
he's a strong target, and I'm assuming you're trying to follow.
Yeah, I'm just following them.
Okay. You actually manage to kind of keep up as they are. They go at one point as they kind of go through the forest. They go out. They go off the road. Kind of get off their horses, and they're leading them through parts of the woods. And I don't know. I don't think you were in the room when he told. Or yeah, you were there when they told about the like little burnt out like small village had been flooded. And they actually head back that way. And when they get back, there are three people come out, and all three of them you can kind of see some tattoos and such popping through. They're from what you're wearing. These are ninja. And the three of them look at them, and it's like, you're back very quickly. It's like fortifications, and Kuzubaru goes and with the thing up on his horse. Fortifications were too much. We told you to go and drive them out. He just turns and goes. They have help from someone who knows what they're doing. If you saw those fortifications, you would know that if we tried to go at it right now, we would die. Because fortifications can be destroyed. And he just kind of turns and goes, I gave them 3 days to flee. They have to know that there's no possible way that with time and with us getting reinforcements, that we'll be able to take things over. You are able to bring reinforcements, right? And he's like, it's very kind of quiet, and he goes, we can send for some. It may take some time. He goes, we gave them 3 days. When we go back, they should be cleared out. We can keep an eye at it. I mean, you should be able to go and sabotage. Isn't that what you do? We need them gone.
And is that Lord Tagami talking? Or wait, the other guy?
Just from like the tattoos and such, you can see all four of these are ninja.
Oh, okay, so they're working for one of the lords. Does it identify which lord they're working for at all by their attire or anything like that?
He does mention the Kozibaru like kind of walks off. He turns the other ones and tells one of them, Go to Lord Hori. He's gonna need to pay more if he needs more of us brought here to get these out. Have the prisoners of war ready to be brought over, or have the prisoners ready to be brought in. They should be mining soon.
So the prisoner is probably the son.
Well, prisoners.
But he might be with them.
Possibly, he mentioned plural.
Can I try to find the prisoners? Or does he imply they're quite far away?
That they're at a distance. He's telling the same one who's going back to Lord Hori to tell them.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I should push my luck and follow that guy into a castle or whatever. I'll just go back. Can I when I'm like following them, is this one of those comics where I can like jump along the trees and stuff like that?
Yeah, you'll be able to take some like where you can. They're not always that close together, but when they can, you can kind of climb up and use those.
Cool. At one point, you see me balancing on just one leaf, you know. But I'll go back and tell people what I saw.
Well, it seems we were correct about most of it.
Yeah, it's too bad that the prisoners weren't with them. It's even farther away.
Yes, but it makes sense that they are taking prisoners. They need people to work the mines.
Yeah. So with that information, what do we want to do? Just try to repel it ourselves or go to Lord Tagami?
I think.
We have enough to go to Logami.
Well, no, I think one of us at least must go to Lord Tagami and get him to send troops to defend. If he sends troops to protect the village, then he will also serve his own interests.
I'm not sure it is acceptable for him to send troops to protect the village, but if he sends troops to protect the mine, I think that will be good enough.
It would be a friendly gesture to Lord Hori to drive off a group of bandits that was raiding one of his villages. Lord Hori could not possibly object to such a friendly gesture.
I like how you think. Feel free to tell me how that goes when you explain it to Lord Tagami.
Yeah. That could go either way.
In any event, if Lord Tagami arrives in the area with troops, Lord Hori will realize that there is nothing to be gained by attacking the village.
But will we get the prisoners back then, or will he start trying to cover his tracks and eliminate them?
That is an excellent point, because he will have no reason. He has witnesses at that point. He will just kill them. We have to rescue the prisoners.
So should we kill all the bandits and then go after the prisoners?
No.
Well,
Let the bandits come to
you're
us.
the one who went.
The prisoners will be guarded very lightly, if at all, at that time.
But the bandits will not come to us until they have reinforcements, and when they get reinforcements, they will be too strong. If we wish to free the prisoners, then we must find where the prisoners are being held and sneak into their camp. They will not be expecting this. They do not even know that we know that they have prisoners.
Kona, did you think that my oath to summon demons was idle threats?
I did. Was it not an idle threat?
Wait, you can really summon demons? I thought that was just spooky talk.
Never underestimate the power of a priest. Even demons must feed.
So if a demon is... Is this the thing with strawberries again?
I will say, out of character, you can banish spirits, but summoning them up is usually a priestly thing.
Oh, darn it.
Maybe you could summon angels.
Wow. All right.
How far away is that cave? The one we were at last time?
It's about 2 days' journey.
Each way?
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. All right. All right. Well, before we have the city overrun with demons, to protect it from being overrun with bandits, and have to summon, I don't know, bigger demons to get rid of the demons that we summoned in the first place, why don't we just try rescuing the prisoners? That seems much less likely to go badly wrong.
You'll need to lure the bandits away from the camp.
Or just kill the watchers. There's only a few watchers, I think, here.
So all the bandits will be there?
Well, I think he left a few watchers, and then everybody else is at that camp, but we're going to the other place. Where they're holding the prisoners, I think.
Do we know where they are holding the prisoners?
We stalk them.
It's true. Our bounty hunter seems to think he can find them.
Very well. We'll stay here with the patients.
And I will let myself be captured, and then I will assist you from within the camp, because I am very good at getting out of chains.
Oh, I see. So you're going to get captured and then we just follow you?
Exactly. I would dress as a peasant, and they will not suspect me of having hidden skills.
You're gambling.
It is a risky play, but sometimes that is the safest play.
Sure, that sounds fun to me at a player level, is what I mean.
Well, the funny thing is,
Yeah, I feel like this is a really bad plan, but I also think it's kind of awesome. So
the funny thing is while they said earlier they don't take prisoners, part of what the risk does for the gambler is kind of let them get themselves in a risky situation, and just sometimes it works out.
Yeah, hopefully. Otherwise, we just see like someone dressed as a peddler walk up and get shot with an arrow. I'll try. I mean, if you want to try it, I'm here for it.
Yes, and like we make this plan about how I will leave a trail for for Rin to follow. So like I'm carrying some seeds or something that I will drop on the ground as they take me to the camp.
Okay. Right, so we want to head to that, or does anybody want to do anything before we have Koana go out and try to get taken prisoner?
I'm good.
So just to be clear, are we all going to rescue you, or is Rin going to rescue you, or what is even? I'm a little unclear on this time, I have to admit.
I mean, Rin is going to stalk me, and then when we found the camp, it's like I think all of you are going to raid the camp and free the prisoners.
Ah, okay.
All right. So, where do you head out into the woods nearby in dressed as a peasant?
Yeah, I dress as a peasant, carrying a message to Lord Tagami. So I've got this. I've got very poor clothes, and I've got this very fancy case that I'm holding in my hand that has a message in it.
Okay. Yeah, so if everyone else is, I don't know if they're nearby or something, are people sort of in earshot in case something happens, or?
And I think Rin is following me concealed.
Okay.
I am taking the nearest road direct to Lord Tagami, which we're pretty sure that the bandits are watching.
Okay. And what are Royo and Koda doing?
But I'm doing it in the dark of night.
Okay. And then what are Royo and Koda doing during this?
Following Ren.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All
guess we're helping. We're standing by in case things go wrong.
All right,
the wrong way as opposed to the right way.
So Koana rolls the
And are
dice.
you going to Lord Tagami's or to Lord Hori's?
I'm going towards Lord Tagami, like carrying this message, which telling him about the silver mine. And it's like, if they capture me, they'll think, oh, they just recruited some peasant to send a message with their suspicions. But they'll think I'm just a peasant.
You're in the woods, kind of heading through there, and go to one point. You kind of see them before they kind of get to you. But there's one comes out from in hiding. It's like, Mugen, look what we got. And then you kind of hear from sort of behind you, Dachi, they sent someone else out here. Someone's trying to make their way. Where are you going, little peasant?
I am going to visit my sister. So please, she's very sick.
Oh, it's a shame. She's never gonna get what you take and what you got.
This is medicine. Yes, it's no good to a healthy person. It's just for my sister.
sort of brings up his sword and goes. And then like behind you also hear some laughter, and goes, kind of fancy to be taken to your sister, but you might as well throw it to the ground. You don't want to get blood on it.
I it's like I drop it and jump away.
Okay. The Daigo, the one behind you, Mugen, rather, the one behind you, turns, and Daichi kind of grab. You said it was like a fancy little case.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a scroll in there.
Yeah.
They say medicine.
Please don't hurt me. They told me to take this to Lord Tagami. Please, that's all I know.
Make your risk roll.
Okay.
Now your actual risk is plus setback, which you don't have any yet.
Right. So it's just straight 2d6. So that is 7. So
win gambling against strong
opponents. Game against strong opponents.
Yep. And there's a point where you just kind of they just kind of look and go. As Daichi kind of swords kind of coming closer, and then Mugen just goes, stop. He knows something. We're not supposed to take prisoners. He goes, This is a plan of something. Bring him with. We can take him to the other prisoners. He just sort of smiles and goes, looks like you bought yourself a little bit of time.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. You are so merciful.
Get up.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Good. All right. We should probably dump him with the other prisoners until Kozabaru comes back. Go. Kind of like prod you in the back with a sword.
Okay. And then I trot along, and in the dark they can't see that I'm dropping these little what's on the ground and leaving a trail.
All right. So as they're taking you not quite in the direction of where Raiden said the hideout was. Raiden, if you want to make your stalking roll, the three of you can follow along.
Sounds good. Support. +1. A 7.
All right, and what's that for you? Probably follow a strong opponent.
Yeah, strong. Follow a strong target without being seen.
All right. Yeah, you manage to kind of follow. They're not going straight to the sort of the hideout, but they go sort of a little further, and there is a building made of brick. They come in and they go, right, we got one for you, and then this someone kind of pops out and is like, we're not supposed to have more prisoners. We got a bunch coming. He goes, this one knows something. We're going to go back and tell them. They're going to want to know what this one's got. All right. And he Connie grabs you and goes, you're going in. And takes you in. And the thing is, none of them have been suspicious enough of you to search you. So I'm assuming you probably have a weapon on you that's...
Oh, no, I have no weapon. I have a simple pipe for smoking.
Okay.
That's absolutely not a weapon. I mean, it's made of iron and it's about 3 feet long, but definitely not a weapon.
Yeah, takes it in, and there's it's basically a small jail, and there's about 4 people, and you kind of look at them. They look to have been bandits of some sort that are in one, and he kind of opens up a thing, goes, "You're lucky, we're getting crowded in that one." Then shoves you into a cell unless you do anything. With a single other person there, a kid maybe 20 years old.
I assume I got a description of Atsushi before I left. Does it look like it's him?
Yep. And it looks like he's been cut up some. He's been beat up. Like he got hit with some stuff.
Right. Okay. It's like I whisper to him. Your father sent me. We have help on the way.
There's the moment you say your father sent him, there's just this look of like, what the fuck kind of comes across his face, but then when you say the rest, he's, how did we find help?
The gods are looking kindly upon your village.
We're looking kindly on us.
Or at any rate, that's what the annoying priest says.
My friend and I were hunting out near the old silver mine. Occasionally, creatures make a home in there. And I followed a deer around the back and slipped and fell down almost very steep cliff face behind it. And I found in there that someone had started digging at some point into the place itself. And there was a body that looked like it had been there a long time on the ground, and there was a vein of silver. And it was right on the other side of the river. And as I did, just this shadow appeared. My friend was supposed to help me out, and then he just fell to his death. Next thing I knew, these two ninjas came over the sides and just took us. Well, my friend died, but
Yeah.
I'm sure. He must have, because he hit the river and started floating away. But he had like 3 arrows in him.
Well, I have good news for you. If you tell Lord Tagami where to find this mine, he will reward all of us.
Tagami?
I'm sure.
His eyes go, that river is the border of Tagami's land.
Yes. Yes, and the silver is on his side.
But why would our Lord want to get rid of us? Like, all I know is they're supposed to get rid of everyone in the village.
Yeah. Yes, they wish to mine Lord Tagami's silver without there being any witnesses to the deed.
Kind of has a look, and then outside, as you're sort of following through, you see the two that you saw before kind of leaving and walking at kind of a brisk pace towards where the hideout would be, which will probably take them about 45 minutes or so to reach. What are the three of you doing?
Assassinating them.
Ren, we don't need to kill them. We just need to ensure that they won't be a problem.
We just need to end their lives.
Killing them will kind of ensure that they won't be a problem. So I don't see a conflict in your goals.
Just tie them to the tree. Remember, they're also hungry.
The guards? The guards are hungry?
Everyone is hungry, Ren.
I could eat, I suppose. Okay, so you wanted to, like, knock them out or something and tie them to a tree?
Knock them out, restrain them, we rescue the prisoners. We don't have to kill anyone. Show mercy.
All right, we'll bank some karma.
I hear don't have to kill anyone. I don't hear get to. So... Okay, yeah, so you're catching them after they're leaving?
Yeah.
Alright, y'all waiting in ambush?
Yes, ambush.
Alright, yeah, they're coming through. They're not expecting anything because they feel like they're way out in the middle of nothing. The villagers aren't going to come out here because that would be stupid. This is the place for just the other bandits.
Oh yeah, if I get a good enough hit, I could do snare on my weapon. So I'll try that.
Okay, maybe roll and add your story points.
Oh, good thing I didn't spend that yet then. 8.
Okay, what is an 8 for you?
Is a weak hit. And... Ah, dang, I need a strong hit to do a snare, I think.
Well, and this particular one's also considered a strong opponent. because they have been trained by the bandit leader.
Can I use a story point even though I'm rolling with story?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll do that so I can snare them. I want to. It looks cool.
Okay.
So I up my support by 1. Delete my story. And that brings it to 11. A strong hit, or if you're using a Bushido weapon, use one of its special, and I want to use snare.
And what does snare do?
If the target is weak, you may choose to render them helpless. If the target is strong, they are now exposed, but you can only use this weapon to attack that same target until they become free of the snare. You can only have one target snared at a time.
Oh, you got the little sickle with the...
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you got him, you're also able to pull him away from his friends, so they're not able to act as a group.
Cool.
So yeah, he has been caught in a snare. Not kind of taken out quite yet. Or actually, if you want to do it with defeat the strong foe by using the... It sounds like what the snare is going to do, it exposes them. So we check it. It might just be better to use the...
a strong hit?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, we could use that like the snare. But which one is your? Oh, it's up. Oh, wait. Where is?
It's the Kusaragama.
Wait. Oh, okay.
They're exposed, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll say they can only use this weapon to it. You're it's like you're pulling someone out of a group. So we'll say if you want to basically do that by the fiction, it'll become the snare, but you now have them unable to attack or do anything. They're essentially defeated for this purpose.
Okay.
It's a possibility they could be freed. You just can't use this one again.
Can it be like the rope goes around them and behind them is a tree, so I just like whip and pull them right back against the tree and like kind of knock them out or something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Boom.
All right. And then there is still the other one. What are Ryu or Koda doing?
So we have another guard, and Koda has convinced us that we don't kill our enemies for some strange reason.
Well, it sounds like Koda's convinced Rin. I don't know about you. Rin's done the talking.
Okay. Are we trying to be quiet? Because I'm not sure I really do quiet.
I think we're trying to be quiet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I suppose I look at my stuff. I've got my spear. I've got my arrow. Arrow's probably quieter. I'll do an arrow.
Okay. Make your attack.
Okay. Excuse me.
Just tell Koda that you're using your non-lethal arrows.
It's my boxing glove arrow.
I was just thinking that there was going to be some Hawkeye level stuff.
9.
Think that's taking out a strong opponent?
That's a good question.
Generally up to like 9 is strong, and then or 9 strong, and then like 10, 11.
Score a weak hit, it says. Oh, it's plus story.
Mm-hmm. Would you have at least a +1? You just got one.
Yeah, so yeah, I just got one. So that's actually 10. So I score a strong hit. Or I can use a fancy schmancy weapon. What are my specials again?
Oh, Steven, had you chosen a weapon?
Yeah, I did the iron pipe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a strong hit.
Okay. And on those ones, on the weapon 1 or 2, you should be able to kind of dial in the specials. But yeah, strong hit. So how do you kill him? Do you hurt him? You take him out? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm pretty clear that bandits are bad. And no, so I just kill him.
All right.
work for.
And he just kind of crumples to the ground, very clearly dead.
Yep.
All right, what do y'all do?
Are the guards neutralized?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the one's knocked unconscious and kind of tied to the tree. The other one is been shot with an arrow and killed.
Rio, we must talk about your use of violence.
Just like over a bottle of sake after this is done.
Very well. You've convinced me with the sake. We will discuss priestly motives and right action. Let us free the prisoners.
Is that the only guards?
Well, there's the one inside.
We should sneak up to him too. Sneaky.
As you kind of approach, you hear him yell out kind of loud, "Be quiet in there!" And he starts grumbling under his breath.
Can I approach him hidden style?
Mm-hmm.
I want to do that.
All right, you'll just stalk.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Plus support. Yes. Oh. Ooh, 12. Boom.
Shit, what do you get for 12?
I get a grand clue about a person or follow a target without being seen.
There's anything? Fortunately, I don't think there's anything you haven't found out. Well, as you sort of come as you sort of sneak into the room, or you like go through a window or something, because he's sort of sitting at a table and just idly, just sort of like flipping like a small stone and trying to like it's kind of like long. He's just trying to catch it on things. He's just bored out of his mind. There's like four guys in one of the cells, and then you've got Aksushi and Kwan in the other.
I want to take him out.
All right. As you come in, he's just like, I don't know how we're going to fit 128 prisoners here. How are we going to keep them?
That's a good point.
Lucky they're not going to put us all in with them. All those bandits from across the land. Good Lord, why are we helping them? And then what do you do?
I accidentally kill him.
Right, make your attack roll.
Oh no, that's a 6. I'll bump it up to 1. I'll use a support.
You can only use a support for someone else.
Oh no!
What's your 6 do?
A 6 is miss. If your next move, Vishida, you may take +3 forward.
Yeah, Coda, you hear a very panicked cry from it. Ah! And then like so as you go to attack, are you like trying to like snare, like hit him with the like throw it and then kind of jerk it back or something? Like, how are you attacking?
Just for fun, let's say I was using my Tanto.
Okay.
To try to get up close and stab or something.
Yeah, and you hear and there's like something falls over as you go to stab, as he just sort of like is kind of flipping and looks straight at you and then like rolls out of the chair as you goes that you hear he's trying to kill me, he's trying to kill me, help guys, help.
And does he move past the cell when he does this?
He's kind of like past that.
Yeah, so like I am going to KO him with my iron pipe as
for
the bars.
We haven't had Coda do anything for a little bit. Coda, did you want to, when you hear this, do you want to do anything?
Do I have line of sight on him?
You're able to sort of step inside and see this. Yeah, I'm assuming you two are both like right outside the building.
I'm going to throw my bow staff at him and just aim at his head.
Okay.
Because that's it's a blunt instrument. That is an 8. Let me see what my modifiers are with that.
Should be story. Should be a story.
All right. Well, if it's story, that brings it up to a 9, and that scores a weak hit. But
Teamwork? Would
yeah.
that help?
If somebody throws one more at it, then that gets me a
All right.
10.
Do you want to help with? Do you want to help with teamwork?
Yes, it will help with teamwork. Yeah, and I think I have 2 support at the moment. That's even going pretty well.
And what do you do to help as he comes in? You said you whip the bow staff.
Just because it's suitably ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Rio, maybe you see that the bow staff is going to be slightly off target, and you shoot an arrow at it to nudge it so that it's going to hit the dude in the head.
Sounds good. And I got a +3, so
That takes it up to a. What's that, 9? Or I'm at 11.
Yeah, it was actually that takes it to a 12.
Oh yeah, the 12. Yeah, so for you that's a grand hit.
That is a strong hit. If I'm using a Kikatsu weapon, use one of its specials. I'll just take the strong hit.
All right, it kind of hits him and his head just pops on the bars and he just sort of. I'm assuming you're not trying to kill him.
No. I'm trying to knock him out.
Yeah, he just sort of slides to the ground, unconscious. Kalana, his keys are very grabbable distance right now.
Yeah, yes, I will very grab them.
And the other 4 kind of. You got to let us go too.
Yeah. So what do these other 4 look like? Are they villagers or what?
They look like bandits. These look like kind of people who go out and kill people.
Yeah. So,
Koana, let me attend to the gentleman in this cage. I have some way with bandits.
All right, but gentlemen, don't blame me. He's very tedious, I know, but he probably won't kill you.
And they kind of give a gulp there as they're kind of helpless in the cage.
I sit down cross-legged and begin lecturing them about the path of the Buddha and right action.
All right. Is it, that's a basic question. Does everyone else stay and listen to this, or are you just like, we're going to be outside? What do the rest of you do while this is happening?
We use their fire to eat a meal.
I mean, I actually want to get Atsushi and actually go to Lord Tagami now. Take him to Lord Tagami because he knows exactly where the mine is.
Okay. And
I'm of the opinion that this went messier than it needed to because people were getting fancy with their non-fatal blows and stuff like that. So I'm staying on task. We're getting villagers out. We're looking for evidence of the wrongdoing, and then we're leaving. And I will encourage Coda that walking bandits can be redeemed just as efficiently as sitting ones.
Okay. And Coda, do you want to make your roll for as you're lecturing them, or do you have anything you're telling them, or?
Oh, sure. Why not make it a roll?
Okay.
Flood them with your righteousness.
That is a 9. And I'm assuming that I'm rolling am I rolling with story or am I rolling with
Your Buddhism is with support.
Buddhism with support? I don't have any support points right now.
I can give you a support point.
Because that'll kick it up to 10.
If you like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you do to help?
Probably menacing.
Yeah, like they know that their recourse is death. They look behind Coda.
It's like
Death or redemption.
Well, what do we have to do to be redeemed?
you will help us defend the village against your captors. If you run, they will kill you. If you fight, you have a chance to live. And perhaps make some small amends for your crimes.
Yeah, we're totally up. We're totally up for that.
Good. I'm glad we were able to come to an agreement so quickly. Your skills will be most valuable in the upcoming battle. Come along.
Okay. Sort of free them, and now are you all headed back to the village, or?
I think Kaguna was headed to
Yeah.
Lord Tagami, wasn't he?
Yeah. I was going to take Atsushi and head to Lord Tagami, because I think we've gotten past where the bandits had set their watch. So if we go to Lord Tagami from here before the bandits know we've escaped, we have a good chance of getting there ahead of them.
Okay.
Do you need someone who can fight with you?
Yeah, I mean, I would welcome a martial companion.
All right. Well, Nakami is back Nozumi is back at the village overseeing fortifications. So she's probably got that handled. So I can come with you and then rejoin for the final fight. And assuming that we don't avoid a final fight. Hopefully we've avoided one. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah, we still have, like 2 days or whatever until that other army attacks?
Mm-hmm.
So to be fair, sometimes schedules get revised when you raid their camp. So let's do this efficiently.
Now, my thought here. So
On the other hand, samurai must act with honor. We never said we wouldn't raid their camp. They merely said they would give us 3 days.
And I'm no samurai.
So I think because we have about like half an hour left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how do we feel about turning this one into a 2-parter? I think, do we have everybody next week?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here next week.
Because I think
I'm good with that.
It sounds like Marley and Steve might be going to Lord Tagami, and I don't know if Rin and Koda are going back to the village.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that implies it will be more complicated than we had originally thought.
Well, especially with bringing in the other Lord and all that stuff, it's like, yeah, we can kind of open this up, because otherwise, like, getting it to like that satisfying conclusion in like half an hour or so, with what you have built up, there's some really cool things that could happen. Tagami.
I mean, we could have feudal lords marching with armies.
No big deal.
Sweet. So are we okay with calling it? Actually, everyone take a story point.
Story point.
You have and you actually keep your story points. Everyone, if you do not have a support point, go ahead and give yourself a support point for next time. But otherwise, we'll keep story points, support points, and any impairments where they are at.
Okay.
Is there advancement in this game?
Yes. Actually, how many people took an advancement last time?
Sorry, what's an advancement?
Oh, okay. I you know what? I was going to talk about it at the beginning of last time, but we didn't have it. I couldn't remember if we talked about it before. So yeah. And we can actually go ahead and let's do is everyone can take. We'll just give everyone 2. I mean, Steve wasn't here for the first one, but why not? If you look under the rules, I put an upgrades. I just took some of the pages out of the book. There's the basic upgrades, which everybody can get. And then there's skill upgrades, which usually depend on your skill. The other ones I think are under the general upgrades. So these are ones where you'd be able to take a total of 2. Oh, wait, there's a couple of them that are not appearing. For everybody, let me...
Is this a tab in the spreadsheet?
Oh, no, these are a tab in on Roll20 in the journal tab.
Oh, okay, I'm looking totally in the wrong place.
Sorry. It's also in the book. Actually, you should be able to see the page numbers on some of these, or maybe a few of them. They're towards the end of the book. Those are there as well, but I went ahead and put them up here for easy kind of access for what they are. yeah, these are ones where what you're able to do, and it sort of depends on the length of the campaign, how often stuff happens. But here we can kind of go every session. So yeah, you would be able to choose, and these are in the actual PDF. These start on
208.
208. There's actually quite a few. So some of them by what you've got, others that can be used for everybody.
What does if your roll is an event mean?
Yeah, that means anytime you roll a double. It doesn't necessarily. You don't have to have your thing checked. It just means is anytime you roll a double, you can use whatever that thing is.
I'm curious. What does when I'm rolling 3 dice? If 2 of them are the same, is that an event?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock.
So I don't know if you wanted to, or if you had any questions, or if you want to take some time to look over this, and then next time we can kind of, or you also be able to send an email in the meantime if you had a question, or hit me up on Slack.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know if you
So
had.
we're taking 2 upgrades, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a teamwork upgrade to increase your negotiation, which I almost kind of feel like is appropriate because I've been doing lots of bravado sorts of like soliloquies and get stuff like that going on.
Yeah, you also have a basic upgrade that does that will kind of do the same thing.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, where on the character keeper should we mark the upgrades? I don't see a.
What I might do on the character keeper is just let me take a look. To be honest, like, what might not be a terrible idea is because most people put like their social class and like those things, they put it inside that column A. You might be able to throw that into the B column, so it's a place where it's easy to see. Or possibly like add an extra line in between 9 and 10.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take gregarious, so +1 to negotiation, and critical teamwork, which is when teamwork is an event, take 3 to the teamwork roll.
Nice.
Yeah. I am going to take Charmed. When any roll I make is an event, I add +1 back to it. And Kishero critical. When attacking with a Kishero, if your roll is an event, add +3 back. Just because those both seem like very gambling appropriate moves. Yeah, and I'm really enjoying the character of Kona that I've come up with. I mean, having somebody who just is trying to avoid fighting because he is not good at he is not good at it. It's turning out to be really fun, but also trying to come up with interesting things to do.
Well, when you did the whole like that, they take that risk, I was like, I looked over risk. I'm like, oh yeah, risk is definitely going. Yeah, I'm gonna just roll the dice and see what happens. I like how these 4 characters fit together. Especially you got 2 people who are like, we're very okay with killing people. One who's like, I wish you wouldn't, and another one who's like, I don't want to get into a fight. I think, Fraser, I think you were talking, but it was muted.
Well, I liked when everybody had a different obvious thing that they wanted to do based on the information.
That was really funny.
4 obvious things to do. It's like I tend to be very bad at pacing for a single session because I like usually a one shot ends up being 2. But especially I like the characters so much when you got a chance to like talk together and stuff. I'm just like, this is just fun to be the fly on the wall.
Oh, good.
Okay. I don't know if you guys found the other ones you were looking for, or the upgrades.
Yeah, I've got everything.
Sweet. What'd you pick up?
I'm getting the same thing for stalking, where I'm really good at stalking, and the blind fighting one, where I can never be at a disadvantage when fighting blind, and if I fight in darkness, then I get +1 to my rolls.
Oh, nice. Especially if you're like out around from the village or something.
Yeah. So if I go after those people in the spies looking at the village or whatever, then I can just beat them up.
I didn't realize some of those give you upgrades that specifically target a few of your other stats. That's cool. Because they're also the normal ones that do that too.
Yeah.
Okay. And Coda, have you found what you want?
Indeed, I am taking right livelihood and right samadhi. So I get +1 schooling, and I get to meditate and ask a bunch of questions.
Nice.
Because what else would a priest who bores people to right action want besides to ask more questions?
I love how it says out of combat when you're meditating. It's nice, very nice.
I mean, who's going to meditate in combat?
There are games where that does kind of work. Do you want to do stars and wishes? Because I'd love to know what kind of things you'd like to see come up.
Sure.
Anybody want to start, or?
Are we starting with one in particular?
You want to start with stars?
sure. Well, the thing I mentioned already is really funny, where everybody was like, "I think we should do this." But yeah, I thought in general it was fun seeing a whole bunch more of the combat mechanics at work as well.
Mhm.
And I thought that it was interesting that it wasn't like a. I like that for both of the village, it wasn't just like a very straightforward, easy to see resolution thing right away that is normal for some RPGs like this.
Yeah. I had a feeling that it might have gone to like a bandit combat early, but you decided to spend the story point and the help to get the grand fortifications. I'm like, yeah, there's no way. They're like a samurai's look at this and going, yeah, we're not attacking this village right now.
Woohoo! There's way too many bells.
Want to go?
Yeah. I mean, I also like how the grand fortifications played out. It gave us more time to investigate the situation and not just have a fight to resolve everything, because this really seems like it's sort of a puzzle scenario. What's really going on, and we're figuring out what's going on, and then we're figuring out, well, how can we use this knowledge to solve the problem?
Oh,
Yeah,
I also. Sorry, one more thing is I also really like that one of the questions that you can ask is, what is the answer to this math problem?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you get a good enough rule, you can solve for Maslow's theorem.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Puckett for actually like throwing in all those extra points so that we could do the grand fortifications. That was super cool. I also really like how like we all have different opinions on killing, and like there's like we must discuss this and no, we can't do it, and my character's like, I'm a soldier, these are bad guys. We're not. Don't get fancy, get the job done.
I really like how this part of the story is kind of playing out like a Kurosawa flick. We have the gambler who has absolutely no interest in fighting, and we have a former samurai and another soldier, and then just like this priest who drones on at length, and basically just like people agree with him and agree not to do the wrong thing just so he'll shut up. And it's like, and he knows that. And it kind of tickles him a little bit, but it's like, this time around, I'm glad that I was able to do like more healing and kind of like helping around the village as opposed to just banishing demons and such. And I am also glad that we got to explore more of the combat mechanics, because I kind of feel like Fraser and Marley might have gotten let down a little bit in the previous session by that, because it's like, here's all these things. Can we really fight them? Kind of hard. So
it's fine.
I'm glad.
I don't care much. I genuinely don't care about combat mechanics or anything like that. For all that I built a soldier.
Yeah, but now we have bandits. It's a problem you can shoot arrows at.
It's true.
So
I'm happy at solving my problems shooting arrows, if that's how it goes down.
And I do
I also like wacky role play, so whatever. And
I also appreciate that there's a little bit more courtly intrigue in this one. I mean, suddenly it's like, wait a minute, we're stuck in the middle between a lord who's trying to surreptitiously take land from another lord. How's that going to play out? Here's this village that's stuck in the middle. So, yeah, I'm enjoying that.
Cool. And any wishes for next time?
More of the same. More trick shots from Rio. More exasperation from Rin as he's trying not to kill people. I'd like to see Kona get dragged into a fight where he actually has to fight.
Oh yeah. I expect this journey to Lord Tagami to go badly in some way.
And as for Coda, I have no idea. Surprise me.
Okay. Well, I think with you two being at the village while they go there, I think there'll be a lot of hitting back and forth between the village and heading out to the other lord. Excellent. And anybody else? Things you'd like to see?
Yeah, I think just more of the same. This is really fun.
Okay. Anything else for Marley or Steven?
Not really. Yeah, I've been enjoying it.
Well, sweet. I'm very interested because this is not enough. When you kind of do that quick, which isn't my normal thing. Here's the three acts, and it was like, well, they're probably gonna do this, meet this, find out what's going on, help the village, and then find out the ninja, and it did not go that way, and I'm so happy. I love, like, if I know how it's going to turn out, I get very bored. It's so much more fun when you do something. It's like, oh yeah, they don't know, you have messed up the enemy's plan so badly. That's so much fun.
They don't know that we know that they know.
But you don't know that we know that you know that we know.
Exactly.
Excellent. Well, I had a lot of fun, y'all.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, same here.
Sweet. And I will catch you all later.
Yes.
Have a great week, everybody.
Everybody.
All right.
Well,
Okay,
See you.
bye.
good night.